Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the EKN Face2Face. My name is Rob Howden. David Cole.
You don't have your cheaters.
I didn't.
There it is.
I'm down here at Newcastle, Indiana, for right between the two SuperKarts USA events at Newcastle Motorsports Park. David headed home to get some work done. He'll be coming back down on Thursday, so we'll get back at it again with more.
Which is tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. I know. Isn't it crazy? I know.
It just went like that.
You literally went home for 2 days. You're coming back.
Yeah.
So a lot's going on, of course. We'll do our debriefs again like we did last week on probably Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday. Maybe not Thursday. We'll see. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, we'll do our debriefs of what happened at the racetrack, and they'll set up somebody on Tuesday, talk to a couple of the race winners about how things went. If you didn't get a chance to see the show that I did with Rory Vanderster and Bryson Morris, that's available either here on Facebook or you can pick it up on YouTube as well. We'll have it as a podcast pretty soon. But David, we're kind of switching here. We're focused a lot on SuperKarts USA during this summer festival here at Newcastle, but there's a lot of stuff going on, and we've been trying to get this put together. This particular face-to-face focused on the race Rotax program, Rotax in the U.S. We obviously had a lot of conversations with Justin Stefani from J3. They made a move on their Grand Nationals. Talking about that, Dave, it's going to be in Charlotte. It was supposed to be in the middle of the summer, but they've moved it into September.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the 4th of July weekend, but it was moved away from that day because there were still some issues with international traveling. Because again, it's not just a U.S. Grand Nationals, but also an opportunity for international drivers to come and be part of the event. Not to mention staff from Austria, from Rotax and stuff like that to come over. So that event's now moved over to September 17th through the 19th, which will be a Thursday, Friday, Saturday show. They kind of shifted the dates on that to allow for a lot of the local competitors in the Charlotte area to do their club race on Sunday with the GoPro Motorplex. So again, we're seeing a lot of cooperation throughout our sport since the COVID-19 pandemic really has hit. With guys working together as much as they possibly can to work around scheduling and not be on top of each other as much as possible. But obviously, with the move from July to September, it's all they could do, and thankfully they were able to shift for one day. And again, the focus is get it done in 3 days because it's a Friday, it's Thursday practice, and I believe qualifying maybe even starts Thursday night, but then a lot of racing on Friday, and then the main events on Saturday. So it's not going to be one of those long, drawn out events. So you're going to have to be good right out of the gate and be able to battle to be a Grand National champion.
Well, and scheduling changes are obviously something we're all kind of getting used to. We don't normally see them, but with the COVID-19 pandemic, the whole shutdown, everybody trying to jam races in. Not only Rotax here nationally in the U.S. getting changed in terms of dates, but David, the overall date for the Rotax Grand Finals this year actually moved to January 23rd to the 30th, that week-long event back to the Algarve International Circuit in Portimao. You and I were there a number of years ago, but they actually moved the 2020 Grand Nationals to early 2021. And of course, I would expect to be back in the following November if all goes well. But a move for the Grand Finals too. Yeah,
it's again, an unprecedented time with the COVID-19 hitting the entire world, and with the way kind of things were shaping, they made the early move to move it to the beginning of 2021. And again, it's not the first time it's happened. I believe it was the 2001 edition was actually in 2002. So and again in January. So Rotax is trying to find the most simplest way to still provide what is the Olympics of karting, to allow all the 50 some countries that can take part in it still take part in it, and the move to the beginning of 2021 is obviously right now still the best option for that to happen.
So refocusing on Rotax and its kind of rebirth here in the U.S. Obviously, it was a massive program for many, many years. They, of course, had the Florida Winter Tour, was nothing but Rotax for many years. There was the U.S. Open events. Then it kind of dwindled away a little bit. So there were some issues we've discussed in other shows about the actual engine package itself and all the upgrades. Things really have locked in and been solidified, the whole platform, I think. And, of course, then hooking up with J3 competition. The guys to bring in the Race Rotax program back here. So you got some really solid organization, great promotional skills, and just guys that have been on the sport for a long time, a lot of experience with the Giacomellis and Justin Stefani as well. But David, they've kind of focused on club level racing. Let's support club level racing. Let's support where Rotax is still part of the tag program, the tag formula. But they wanted to put a program together, and there is a number of Rotax racers up in the Northeast. So that's really where they're focusing on the new, well, not new, but this year's Stars and Stripes Trophy program, that series. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Give them a little overview, Dave, of the Stars and Stripes.
Yeah, it's really the first time we've had an actual series named after that. They had the event, I want to say last year in Utah, was the Stars and Stripes Trophy event. This year now it's a 3-race event program that's, again, focused at that grassroots level. And the Rotax program has really continued on through the northeastern part of the United States. Again, before COVID, obviously, a lot of United States and Canadian drivers would take part, being in that northeast area and the eastern part of Canada as well. But this year, the Stars and Stripes Trophy is going to be a 3-event program. Obviously, it's kind of shifted because of the COVID. So now we have 3 events. One in August, we're going to be at it's going to be at Lafayette Motorsports Park, August 21 through the 22nd. And then second event will be at the United Karting event or facility in Baltimore, Maryland. That's October 2nd through the 3rd. And then the series wraps up at the Oakland Valley Race Park on October 10th through the 11th. So again, 3-race program. Again, practice one day, race the next day. But really what kind of is the carrot for everybody who to take part in this program, aside from visiting the 3 unique and exciting facilities, is the Rotax Grand Finals tickets that are up for grabs with the Micro Max category, Senior Max category, and Masters Max categories. Oh, did we lose Rob? There he is. Sorry, I was reading the paper, so I didn't even have the screen up.
I just get dumped again.
You're there. I see you. It must be your internet. So this is the problem that you have sometimes with Airbnb. So
that's it.
Probably on the house internet, and you got dumped. So yeah, I went through the whole thing. I was reading the Word document that I had on my screen, and I went full screen, so I didn't see that you fell out of the broadcast. Well, I didn't hear you comment, so I was like, right? Oh, good, he's letting me talk. This is right. First. But it's still not working great. So you're back. I'm glad you got some good internet. So we got all the details out there. You. No? Well, then you need to work on your
bring the other guys in right now. I can't hear you.
Okay. So we're gonna bring everybody else in while Rob works on that. So I'm gonna see, Rob's making everything more difficult than it has to be. So we have everybody in now. We have Devin from United Karting up in the top right. We have Tim Hannen from Oakland Valley on the bottom left, and then we have Tony from Lafayette Motorsports Park on the bottom right. Rob, are you still there, or can you not hear us? Okay, Rob's still working on it. Devin, you can hear us?
Absolutely.
Tim, are you there?
I am here. Gentlemen, how's your afternoon?
Good. Tony, you there?
Yeah, I sure am.
All right, good. So we got everybody else working aside from Rob, so that's kind of interesting. So we'll start with the Lafayette Motorsports Park. Tony, you have the privilege of opening up the series, so you're going to have the inaugural event coming to your racetrack next weekend. Obviously, it kind of crept up on us a little quick. We wanted to get this show out earlier. We were just all busy and doing a lot of different things, but you have the opportunity to host the event. Tell us a little bit about the facility that you own there.
So the Lafayette Motorsports Park used to be Cherry Valley back in the day. I'm sure many people remember. We bought it about 4 years ago, and it was in pretty bad shape. I mean, the track was potholes. You could lose a whole car, and it was pretty bad. So we bit the bullet. We widened the track, totally repaved it, put all brand new curves in. We've been doing improvements year over year, and the facility really is becoming beautiful right now. Our club events have been getting very, very busy, growing leaps and bounds year over year. We now represent Rotax, obviously, as a service center. We represent J3 and the comp carts. We've been putting a lot of comp carts together and selling those, so it's been coming out well. The facility is beautiful. I mean, it's everything that I kind of looked to the future to produce. I think people are going to be really impressed. It's billiard table smooth, the curves are just the right height. It's a lot of fun to drive.
Now, during the repaving, it was 2018, I believe, that you guys repaved the track, correct? Oh, Somebody's got a loud phone there. Did you make any changes to the actual layout of the facility? I believe it's a half-mile course, correct?
Yeah, we not particularly to the actual shape of the track. What we did do, we fixed some of the errors when the additions were put onto the track on the original design track. There was a lot of undulations, particularly coming through what we call Eau Rouge. We named most of the turns after Formula One tracks, and we looked at turns that were similar. So our Eau Rouge is coming off of the front straightaway onto the main straight, and it's just like just like a Rouge F1. You go heavy as you go through it, but it used to be that you went light, heavy, light, and your teeth about came out of the top of your helmet. So we actually put 9 inches of paving on that turn. We milled off the crown. So we fixed a lot of the things that inherently happen to tracks when you make changes over the years, and it really is a superb layout now. It's not super long, but it is very, very technical. It's you got to be on it 110% of the time. There is no time to relax. You just got to be 100% focused. There's a lot of passing opportunities, and that's indicative of the tracks that were built in the early years of karting, because I believe it was 1959 that the actual facility was first constructed, correct? Right, yeah, and that was a lot smaller track. It's been added on to a lot since then, but the original configuration is still there. We actually paved the original configuration as well. So we did a vintage race just a little while ago, and it was kind of fun because we could actually run the sidewinders on the old original configuration that they thought was super neat to be on a 1959 design track, but as smooth as it was built yesterday. So, and then we can go the long track for the rear engine. So it gives us a lot of flexibility to have a lot of fun.
All right, looks like we got Rob back, so we'll try and bring him in. There he is.
Keep going, boys. Keep going. I'll just listen.
So we talked about the track. Now, kind of talk about the upcoming event. Again, next weekend, going to be the opener for the Stars and Stripes Trophy. What are people going to expect us to? What are they going to get when they pull in to the paddock there Friday morning?
Well, we're actually going to open on Thursday if people want to get in there and do a pre-practice and set up. So we'll be there Thursday. Then Friday is the main start of the Rotax round 1. And originally we were going to be the 3rd round, but with the whole moving a couple of months ago, the 3 of us here got together with J3 and we came up with these new dates and to try and not cross over with any other events. So, but when people arrive, we've got some pretty exciting things going on. It's kind of a bonanza race weekend for us. So there's a practice obviously on Friday, but then on Friday evening, we're going to kind of lighten things up a little. We're doing a party in the pits. So we got a live band that we've had at the track a few times before.
I'm talking about.
Yeah. There's going to be some free beer and soda for the kids and T-shirt for a commemorative T-shirt for the first round of the Rotax that we're hosting. So we're trying to make it a little fun and a little different from just normally turning up and finishing at the end of the day and heading back to your hotel. So pretty good event.
What kind of input have you had from people so far, feedback-wise? Is there a lot of excitement? People coming in to do some pre-race testing, or? Yeah,
we've had a lot of people out from the Midwest and further south that have contacted us about when they can come in. We had a couple of people from Vermont call the other day and want to come down early next week to do some testing. So we got some Mojo tires on hand as well. So if people want to actually run Mojos as well to practice with, we'll have those available. So we've got a lot of interest. I think it's going to be a great event.
Any pre-entry numbers that we can hear, or are you keeping those close to the vest right now?
No, you know what? I sent Justin an email yesterday trying to get those. So
okay. we won't throw them under the bus right now.
Myself, we're trying to put together T-shirt numbers, and it became nice to know whether we need how many kids we need and how many adults. So when I know, you'll know.
That sounds good. So, David, obviously missed this. Did you start with Tony? Should we go to Devin now? Or?
We started with Tony. We got some information on the racetrack, and now he's talked about the Rotax race coming there. But also, I think you're having a money race on Sunday as well.
We are. All 3 of us, Tim, Devin, and myself, we all kind of said, it makes a lot of sense to run this race, the Rotax, on a Friday, Saturday. Then we all had club races on the Sunday. So we're all trying to make it where people can travel once and have a real good weekend, get a lot of racing in. So our Sunday race, it's going to be the Show Me the Money race. So we've got some pretty big cash prizes for top 3 finishers in all of our classes. I mean, not just Rotax classes, but, there'll be a normal club type format. So we'll have all of the different engine configurations and engine manufacturers. So that's going to be a really good weekend. We have different food trucks there each day of the event, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So just trying to mix it up a little bit and make it fun for people to attend.
I'm going to be at the Indianapolis 500, but this is sounding right up my alley. We're talking, we got beer, we got racing, we've got food trucks.
I knew the money race would be tip you right over the other side of the fence.
This is it. I don't know.
Well,
right.
Well, if you don't recall, a couple of years ago, we had an April Fool's story pop up on the website, and it was Rob Howden was going to sell the website to start up his own food truck. So anytime somebody says the word food truck, Rob turns around really quick and sees what's going on. So now that you have 3 there, that alone just might almost make him miss the 500.
No. No, I'm in still. All right, let's move over to Devin right now, because I think one of the cool things about having this face-to-face, of course, the focus is to talk about the Stars and Stripes Trophy Series, but also give an opportunity, Devin, for you, Tony, and Tim to talk about your racetracks as well. Of course, Tony giving us a laydown of what they've done with Lafayette, but let's talk about United Karting. It's an area. It's good to see karting get in there. It's good to see what you guys have been doing over the last couple of years. I'll give you an opportunity to kind of give us the overview of United Karting.
Excellent. Well, thank you for having me here. So my partner, Daniel Souders, and I founded United Karting a couple years ago, and we did basically like a small track as a prototype. And the community just started showing up, growing. The racing community reached out, and it's just been this massive fireball just flying down. And we've been on a kind of a crazy ride, if you will. So, where you don't have large karting facilities like in the Maryland, DC, Virginia area, we just kind of pushed ahead. And, to get children into karting, we offer ComKart University. You start the kids at 5 years old. And we invested in a bunch of Bambino karts with little 35cc Hondas on them, same ones they use in Italy. And Brandon Davis, he's a fellow racer. He teaches that class. He gets those kids in, and we offer basically a P1 series. So those same kids, we provide the helmets, the gear, the karts. They show up at the track. They don't have to buy that loud 2-cycle kid kart that scares the crap out of their kid, and those kids, we did it for the first time last year. Majority of all those kids have moved up to 2 cadets, and that's our base. So, that feels really good to watch. One of my daughters turned 5 yesterday. She's going to be starting that now.
That's exciting.
So, so growing karting in the Washington, D.C. area, it's just such a very multicultural area, and everybody can break down barriers of communication through racing. So it's just been a very healthy, positive experience. And one of our, I guess you could say, key partners, Jeff Troop, has been in karting since he's 12 years old. And he's just been great bringing the community together and helping kind of steer us in the right direction. Because, being an entrepreneur, but also thinking we can do everything well, it's been a very interesting journey nonetheless. We've also partnered with Mini GP out in New Jersey for the motorcycle side. Yeah. But, we just getting the community together, working with everyone, working with LMP in Oakland Valley, it's been a great experience. And, the one common denominator across all of us is growing karting. It really, it's been a great experience for us. And we're just excited to continue to work with everybody across the community.
The track itself, do you guys have a full rental fleet there that people can come in and get seat time?
We do. So we have, we just increased our rental fleet by 2 times. Wow. So we went from 16, we just added 13 more karts last week. And something we haven't really publicized is we're doing the equivalent of Club 100 as well. So we have 12 older rental karts, which we're putting Rotax minis on. And that will be the next level of rental karting. COVID has kind of set us back, but, in the DC, Washington, Virginia area, they have a lot of time constraints. So to offer storage, to offer, arrive and drive karting at different levels is just, it's been what the community's been asking for. And we had our first club race last weekend. We ran out of parking. right?
Wow.
And we almost ran out of transponders. And great event, great feedback from the community, and you know, everybody's learning as we push ahead. And as I said, you know, LMP and Oakland Valley, they've been great from a mentoring standpoint, and we continue to push ahead.
It sounds like you guys have had to, you know, there's obviously different places in the country where you present the sport, whether it's a purpose-built track, a temp track like yours, but you guys have really kind of developed your package and your offering to deal with, not to deal with, but to service and support the clientele that you have. It sounds like a real custom approach.
Yeah, it's been the demand is definitely there. We actually have J3 now factory supported our track on recurring weekends, just so we can keep up. And it's just been great. I mean, people, they go to the Kart University. We teach them in the rental carts. Then we can get them into the competition carts. And it's just making it accessible has just, you know, had a huge impact, because, you know, when we originally got into it in this area, it was just very, there were a lot of barriers to entry, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, we've been learning a lot from people in the community, what works, what doesn't work, and trying some hybrid approaches. So, yeah, it's been good.
Do you think the location, because you're right next to the airport, so you're really in the metropolitan area of Baltimore, do you think that helps rather than being an hour out or away from downtown?
It definitely does. So, you know, having accessibility, you know, having karting become like soccer or baseball, where the parents can come to the track with their kids. And, you know, we're offering, you know, basically driving school and expanded classes through J3. It's been huge. You know, the community's hungry for it. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
The community's hungry for it. We just, you know, we're having a hard time keeping up, but these are good problems to have.
Exactly.
Well, and I was going to say the next problem, because you just said you sold out of pit spaces. Is there room for growth at the facility that you're at?
There is room for growth.
Okay.
And we, you know, we added a bunch of new barriers to the track. We're continuously improving the facility and our investment. And, you know, mini GP as a side piece, you know, that was added this year. Everything is online. But just, you know, really incentivizing everybody to get into karting. And the feedback has been great. It's just been a really good experience. And like I said, you know, this working with Tony and Tim, you know, continuing that partnership as we get together, because it really is a partnership. You know, having a track and working unilaterally is a lot harder than working together.
Yeah, agreed. We've seen it over the years in the sport, the 25 years I've been in this thing, that when tracks work together, that's when great things happen. When they battle each other, I know that people, I don't know why it is they do that, but when they battle each other, everything goes down. When you work together, it all goes up. It works.
It really is. It's a win-win for everybody. And it's, you know, like I said, it's been a really positive experience. And, you know, it's great when you can celebrate winning together. You know, winning has many different fathers, failure, not so much.
That's very true. So let's talk about your date of the Stars and Stripes Trophy. You are the first week of October, the 2nd and 3rd. What are your thoughts on getting everybody to the track from I guess everywhere in the Northeast?
Sure. So, you know, we are in the metropolitan area, so we have a casino 5 minutes away. We have plenty of hotels, Chick-fil-A, Walmart. Everything is in an airport, so you can even fly in 2 minutes away.
That's awesome.
We are located at the Baltimore Washington International Airport. So from a accessibility standpoint, you know, we're getting a lot of people reaching out because it's just 95 north or south, and you're at our track. And so the coordination has been great, but also having J3 only 5 hours away up in Erie, PA, you know, bringing the Rotax engines that people can rent out and make it, you know, continuing that accessibility piece, which has been huge. The more barriers of entry we remove, the more people we will get in. And that's
100%.
You know, they've been very receptive to that. And that's, you know, that's why the Rotax program has worked really well for us, because, you know, it's internationally supported and it just, you can get up and go. I mean, there are plenty of other great karting packages. This is not a knock on anyone else, but we're excited. We're very excited.
I like the fact you're at the airport, David. I'm thinking we need to do like a 4-hour layover potentially in Baltimore.
It's an airport I've never been to, so yeah.
Well, if you guys schedule your layover, we'll drive down and meet you at the track.
All right. This is sounding really good.
Yeah, well, the cool part is our track is right on the flight path, so we have so many people that take pictures of the track, even though they shouldn't be using their phones, and then send them to us, or what is this? How is this? I mean, we even had AIM out teaching a class last year, and he said he knew he was in the right place because he saw us all practicing down below us.
That's fantastic. I love it. All right, so let's move over to Tim Hannen. You guys have your date the week later after Devin's at United Karting. You guys are October 10th, 11th for the finale of the Stars and Stripes Trophy Series. Let's give you an opportunity to talk about the track a bit, because you guys have done a ton of the track over the last year, really, last year.
Well, I think all three of us are in similar situations.
Yeah.
Whether it's a new face to the track, and in Baltimore it's a new track, but experience. And I think that, you're basically looking at these new faces, whether it's Tony's repaved track or the work we've done here, but it's still an old school feel. And I think that is one of the common threads that probably all five of us have here, but certainly the three of us who are working at the tracks. And the idea is we all take very, very seriously the responsibility of populating our sport. Mm-hmm. Which means we have to answer the phone, and then we have to get to work with the young people in the sport, whether it's their introduction to karting as a driver or the parents' introduction to the different paths their budget may take or their investment may take. And from there, it fills the Rollison teams and the Doty teams that are out at Supernats and at the Rotax Grand National events. And, so at the heart of it, the three of us are very, very similarly focused, and then we're all pretty old school tracks. If this Masters group gets to above 20, can you imagine these guys on these old school tracks beating and banging? And the fastest guy is not going to win. I can almost guarantee it. So it's going to be old school racing, but I think the modern technologies the modern features of having what would be considered an old school situation, like Tony's having a festival, if you will, but setting that up to where all of the modern features are there to what used to be cool, old school. And, I'm thrilled to be part of the whole event. To come down to Baltimore, most of us are going to be running on a new track. And that's always great, because the series itself, I expect there to be a lot of nitty-gritty club racers. We'll probably see some jeans and jackets, would be my guess.
All good there.
But then if a top running champion doesn't get the ticket at the Grand Nationals in Charlotte, they're going to come beating on our doors. And so I just can't wait to see the mix of the maybe three different level of customer, but the same passion, and they're all going to meet at the same point. And I'm not sure they all know they're going to meet there, so it's going to be cool.
And all on the same spec package, right? Which is the beauty of the Rotax program as well.
That's from day one here, and certainly when I was managing New Jersey Motorsports Park, the Rotax platform has been the business model. You can run one well over 30 hours and run up front on a national level. We run ours 50 plus hours, and that's more time than we put on our race car engines before we repair them. So the idea that for any one of the three of us, if let's say the dad who shows up is like, hey, can I run some laps with my child? And I agree with Devin. All of the packages are fantastic in karting right now. And I have good fortune to get to work with them as do the rest of the guys. But the pennies per lap that it costs me, right? If Rob shows up and he's part of a school and then David comes in, it literally costs us pennies a lap to let you go have your experience. And that's not the case with our other options. And so that's been at the heart of our business model since day one. And it just allows people to do more laps without them having to spend the dollars.
You know, and Tim, I know you can speak to the Rotax program over the years as well, because there were so many years where you were the primary race steward at a lot of the Grand National events as well. So you've been part of the Rotax program for a number of years. Yeah, for sure. I believe in the package. I believe in what BRP does. The Grand Finals is a perfect example for people, and I think David called it the Olympics. I think you might have called it the Olympics of karting, and what a great way to look at it. And that's, I think, the feel and the tone of the event is and not to beat the word up, but it's a festival, more of an international style. But yeah, I've been thrilled to be involved through all of the different programs, and I've also spent a bunch of time with the 3Js, and what a professional, upfront, quality bunch of guys, whether it's through their go-karts or whether it's through the importing of the engine package. It's a pleasure, and I think that's something too that's changed in the industry, and you've probably seen it, Rob, where before there was room for a charlatan or two or more in our industry, and now the people, the tracks, the suppliers, everything is so professional and above board, and there is a normalcy in karting, even just on the national level, how the national level has focused, let's say east of the Mississippi, because the Western United States is a world unto itself and special. But to focus all of the events in Charlotte and the Indianapolis area, two of the greatest cities in motorsports history in the world. Mm-hmm. And the karting minds can come together and kind of calm the waters a little bit, and then look what comes out of it. I've been able to participate in Indy in a couple of the events that have led up to what you guys are doing, and I'll get to participate down in Charlotte. And just, it's a really special time in what we're doing, and I should stop before you guys think I'm trying to hug the whole world. No, listen, I tell you, I totally agree, because I think a lot of people will have conversations with us saying the sport it's struggling right now, and from where I look at it, I say I don't know that it's struggling. I've been doing this for 20-something years, as I've said. Our national series are as big as they've ever been, right? We have the SCUSA Pro Tour has been around for 10 years. I think it's 11th year. Nothing before that, my 25 years, has lasted that long. The Rotax program coming back strong as it is. Like you said, a lot of cooperation, a lot of great people. And I think one of the cool factors is, and Tim, you're part of this as well, is the guys that are kind of leading the charge in the new level of the industry are guys that were racing when they were kids. They've been in it forever. Whether it's, whether you're talking about Eric Jones at Miami, USA East, or the Stefanis, the Jack Camellis, it's guys that have been around the sport forever who love the sport, and they're trying to take care of it. I think the sport itself is going in a very positive direction. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Tim, let's talk about your race. You guys are the final race of this program. It was funny when we were talking to Mike Doty down at Indianapolis, we were actually talking about Oakland Valley Raceway Park in the 1996. It was a big Formula A race that Doug Headline put on with a lot of the big dogs in that one. But he was in that event. Michael Valente was there. Aaron Justice was there. It was a pretty big race for drivers in Formula A. But you guys are going to have a big race here. You're going to cap things off. Anything special you guys have ready to go for the finale? All right, you guys are going to love this one. When you come in, every person who gets a pit pass gets to throw a ball at me in the dunk tank. Huh? You talk about packing them in. Well played. People who have been looking for a shot for 15 years. Tony will be here Wednesday for lunch to get the done. No, but I think
upstaged. We can't compete with that.
So. But I think the vibe that Tony is setting is going to be followed through with Devin, and I think you'll see the same here. And I hope that people understand that J3 has provided us the opportunity to provide the customers a way to get your child recognized. If you deserve to be on Team USA and you're in micro, if you're in senior, and I know at least 15 guys in our master's program who are already sizing themselves up for a suit. Nice. If we go to Tony's event, then we have the Grand Nationals, and only a few guys or girls are going to get those suits. And I think that going to Tony's event is of epic proportion in terms of any driver and any family who seriously wants to put themselves on the map with a budget. You go to 3 club races, right? We are going to treat these as professionally as international races, but you're going to have a club and family atmosphere, as each one of these facilities is a club and family facility. But the opportunity for someone on a budget to have a true swap at a Grand Slam in their racing life is right there. And so I can't urge people enough. Go to Tony's event and then go to Grand Nationals, because there are a whole lot of you that are going to have to go do the other 2 events if you want to be there, right?
That's right. And go to Tony's event with everything they put together. That's the momentum starter, right, for you guys. Like you said, people are going to start there, because if they don't get it done at the Grand Nationals, they got to make sure they got the points from the first race to get things going to get to the finale. I like that.
Yeah. And we will, having it be the final race, I think in the same way that Tony is going to put on a heck of a show for the greeting of what's happening. I think we'll do the same on the back end with the awarding of the trophies and the spots.
Yeah.
And I think, again, you guys have mentioned the health of the Rotax program in the Northeast. I think with, the SSC East guys and the Camara family up in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, those guys are still running a ton of Rotax.
Yeah.
And a lot of those guys will be involved. So the idea that we're really starting this as kind of a support the club track, support the club programs. But if you look at the scope, we're now from, the health in Quebec for the Rotax program has always been phenomenal. So no, we're down clear from Quebec down to say Virginia, and then we're well out past Pittsburgh, who has been a big promoter and through the years in and out of the product. So I think the idea that we're really kind of Syracuse, Baltimore, and as far out in the woods as you could get in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, New York with me, but we're a close footprint if you look at the 3 tracks, but we're a huge footprint if you look at what has been successful in Rotax and the influencers throughout the country. So I'm pretty excited about what we're going to do, and I'm not super worried about how the entries are. We're gonna put it out there. Everybody knows it's a good product. It's a fantastic opportunity. But what is going to happen is the 3 of us are going to put on a show that the people who are are going to go home and tell the people who didn't make it they missed it.
That's what I like to hear. Yeah.
And that's what we're going to do.
Well, and there's no doubt, like you said, Tim, that your area, the Northeast, is really where Rotax is going to start to grow. The fire is going to get stoked there, and going to grow out from there. And you guys have obviously a great program going. Let's go around the horn. We'll start with Tony. We'll go with Devin, then we'll go back to Tim. Any final words to wrap this things up?
Yeah, one thing that came to mind when Tim was talking about the Rotax product, if you don't have a Rotax package, there are packages available. J3's got packages available, $250 for the whole race weekend.
Wow.
For the Rotax event. There are other service centers, Tim, Devin, myself are all service centers. We've got motors available, and there's plenty of other service centers as well. We're also doing each of the 3 tracks. We're doing a local option, which is kind of become something that Rotax have been doing now. We did it at Pitt last year with the LO206. At LaFayette on the for the Rotax event, we've also got a Miami KE100 senior class, and also a Yamaha KT100 class, which is still a very, very big class at our track, on a regular club level. So we want to kind of make it open for other people to stop in that don't have a Rotax. So you can either rent one, for $250, which it's a great deal to get in and give it a try and be part of a big Rotax event. But if not, bring your KE100 up or your KT100 and have a blast. I
like it. There you go, David. I'll get that Limerals back out.
Yeah, it's ready to go.
It's ready to go. Devin, what about you? Any final words from United Karting?
Sure. So we're working out something similar to Tony. You know, COVID has set us back a bit, but, you know, we're just happy to be part of the program and just kind of promote karting and growing the community and working with, you know, what we consider your really amazing tracks. So once more, thank you guys for what you do, because you guys are part of the promotion of karting in general, but just want to thank all of you for having us here.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys joining us as well. Tim, final words from you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, like you said, that we're finding amazing numbers. Our first 2 club races this year were consecutively the two largest races that this place has had in 17 years. So, and there were another 25 or 30 club members that were either out in Newcastle last week, or were still developing their readiness to get on the track. And I know a number of the other series are seeing these things, and we're going to stay vigilant. We are checking temperatures at the front gate. We are hounding people about wearing masks. My 75-year-old mom still works the front counter, and I just hope that everybody, although hopefully we're through the worst of things, we can enjoy a new normal together and be able to go racing. And I just put my helmet on as much as I can. That way I avoid wearing a mask.
That's right. Go racing.
Yeah.
You and I weren't social distancing very good in Indianapolis, though, bud.
No, we weren't. I had a lot of Rob Houghton bumper on my rear bumper. I think you had a little red sticker on your rear bumper.
I did, yeah. So. Yeah, I wasn't leaving my wingman. Let's put it that way. That was good. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Those of you watching here right now, and I think the key is what Tony said. If you have a Rotax package and you want to go racing, let's go racing. You can also hook up with any team. You'll be able to arrive and drive with them. But $250 to rent a motor to come to a race, that gives you an opportunity to be part of Team USA. You've not gone to a couple of the grand finals events. There's literally nothing like it in our sport.
There's nothing like the Rotax Grand Finals. I mean, as Tim said again, the Olympics of karting. It's a massive festival, and it's so funny to see the dynamics just between the Team USA guys, because you got guys who have been racing against each other all year long, fighting it out, not liking each other, to where they're cheering for one another. If somebody doesn't make the final, or if they're in another heat race, they're cheering for that driver on the track.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's wrap things up again. So the Rotax Stars and Stripes Trophy, August 21st, 22nd at Lafayette Motorsports Park in New York, Lafayette, New York. October 2nd and 3rd, United Karting, Baltimore, Maryland. And then the following weekend, October 10th and 11th, Oakland Valley Race Park in Cuddebackville, New York. And as I said, Friday, Saturday races, club races on Sunday, so make sure you're there for the entire time. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
You guys are awesome. Thanks for what you're doing.
Well, there you go. Have it, folks. We had Devin from United Karting, Tony from Lafayette, and, of course, Tim from Cuddebackville and Oakland Valley. David, the Rotax program has been something that we've been following ever since we turned Shifter Card Illustrated into Supercard Illustrated to pick up the Rotax races. All the Grand Nationals we've been to, going straight from Vegas to Portugal for our first ever Grand Finals. That was a heck of a trip. That was. It's good to see it back. It's good to see it's going to be strong. And I think what I had said before, the fire of Rotax is in the Northeast, and that's where it's going to get stoked, and that's where it's going to grow from there.
It's never really been extinguished. As Tim kind of mentioned, that New Hampshire area, I mean, there's still diehard Rotax racers up there and still at Tim's track, and as well, throughout the Northeast, and as he said, up in Quebec. So hopefully next year, they have the opportunity for international drivers to come down and take part in this again, club focused program, but still has that, with those world tickets on the line, can bring that international flavor. And, again, we're starting to see a little bit more in the Colorado area and in the Pacific Northwest. So, hopefully, this program helps build momentum, and then maybe they start doing Stars and Stripes Northeast or Stars and Stripes Northwest and stuff like that. So definitely the future is bright for the Race Rotax program.
And again, as Tim already mentioned, like all three of the guys mentioned, you're talking about the Giacomellis, Jim and John Giacomelli and Justin Stefani from J3 Competition. These guys have been in the sport their entire lives. They love it, but they're fantastic businessmen. They understand customer service, they understand promotion, which I think is key, man. They're the ones that are kind of at the helm of the Rotax program here in the U.S., and the future is definitely bright for sure. And again, so the dates, August 21st to 22nd in New York at Lafayette, October 2nd and 3rd at United Karting, October 10th, 11th, Oakland Valley Race Park, and last but not least, remember the Grand Nationals at Charlotte Motor Speedway, the newly repaved track at Charlotte, September 17th, 18th, and 19th. You can head up to GoPro if you want the next day for a club race. David, it's cool to see the Rotax events coming. I know you're planning on being down at the Grand Nationals. I'm not sure that I'll be able to be there yet, but we'll figure it out. Otherwise, great interview with the guys. Yeah,
great time. Great to get some insight on the Lafayette track and United Karting, and good to see Tim. He's not relishing in his success at the Brickyard too much.
A couple of bricks there. Guys, thank you so much for joining us here on the EKN Face2Face. My name is Rob Howden. That's David Cole. We got the SCUSA, the final week of the SCUSA Summer Nationals this coming weekend, but thank you for joining us here.
Summerfest.
You and your damn Summerfest. It was great talking Rotax. Thanks for joining us, folks. Book it.